Welcome to Real Tea, Real Talk, where the vibes are cute, the truth is bold, and we don't hold back. I'm your host, your fave virtual bestie, spilling real life stories, raw emotions, and grown-up conversations.
Yes, they can hear me. With or without the mic? Which one can you hear her better on? Is that recording? Is that recording? Yeah.
And we're back, cuties, with another podcast with Real Tea and Real Talk. Before we get started, I want to make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And let's get with another podcast with Real Tea, Real Talk. So right now, we're going to have a deep conversation. The topic of today is about being...
Because you think they ain't going to believe me?
They'll be like, what she know?
Ain't none of their business. They even take their advice from me.
Like, it's about having adult children and what's the feelings, emotions, and take about that. So first question is, how are you How you emotionally feel about having adult children and processing of a new coming of an adult child?
Well, I think I started the transitioning of accepting that one day that the little ones that I was currently raising would become a young adult. So I started to prepare myself as you guys were entering school. Once you entered school, I just knew those years would fly by because I had gone through crawling stages, the walking stages, you coming into your own person. So since those pivotal milestones went so fast, I just knew the school years would go even faster because you're gone and then you're home, and then it's kind of like we spend less time together. So mentally, I started preparing myself for that whole process as each one of you went to school.
So was it feel like a surprise when it comes to happening?
No.
That makes a lot of sense, because I think a lot of people don't really prepare themselves when that time comes, and they emotionally be like shocking.
It's a lot to take on because you're taking it on all at once, and now this new idea is being introduced to you when you raise them as children. So I didn't raise you guys as children, I raised you guys as young adults. So when you were 5, which is when you get ready to enter school, I started to raise you as a young adult. So I wasn't the typical parent when it came to you guys. Just like I don't monitor you what you do. Like I've never monitored your devices to check to see what you're looking at. Yeah. Because I feel like if you're constantly watching what they do, they're gonna learn to become liars. And I didn't want to raise liars. I wanted to raise you to be able to come to me and tell me whatever is going on, which y'all still don't do. So not to say that that worked, but it worked to a certain extent. It made it so that you guys didn't want to leave home. You wanted to stay because you had that privacy.
Because I was gonna ask, does that also play a big factor of us growing? Did that do, like, if you look on how other people raise their children and how you raised us, how does that take on your visual of, like, do you think that was better, or do you think that was kind of a hindrance?
I think it was neither. I think you have to parent according to the kids that are in your household. Each one of you are very different.
That's
so
true.
To say, oh, the way I raise my kids is better than the raise your kids, I think is condescending all in itself, because each child dictates what they need as you're raising them. With that being said, I can attest to saying that not everyone listens to what their kids need, and they try to parent according to what makes it easier for them. Was the way that I raised you guys easier for me? No, absolutely not. It would have been easier to say, do as I say, not as I do. But even if I was to say, do as I do, I didn't do much in front of you guys, which shaped you into the individuals that you guys are today. Like, I didn't party. Although I wanted to party, I partied early on before you guys knew what partying was. And when you guys started to have a thought and an opinion, I cut that all out so that you didn't see that. So that whatever you decided was not something you were deciding because of who I was, but it was because that's what you wanted in life.
Yeah, because that does play a big factor. Because I know for us, because I know for parents, they see their children as who they're supposed to come, they're each step away of how they're going to be shaped and formed. Because I feel like you guys at least see that for us. As us?
No, I think as parents we expect for you to be better than us, and that's just coming with parenting, raising your kids, you know what you grew up with, and you want your kids to always strive for better. And with that, if you're doing certain things and you want your kids to do better than you, then set a better example, because y'all are way better than where I started, because
Right, I do.
like, I didn't leave home early. I stayed home,
Yeah.
but I tried to, I just tried to instill value during your upbringing, so when you walked into adulthood, you had something, a reference point that was a bland example. Because what can y'all really compare yourselves to? Just like how you like colors and all these things. That's not what I had. I didn't have colors. I had your blacks, your whites, your tans, all your different variations of browns, and you were just like, well, I like all these colors. I like to do this and that. That was who you were, not who I was.
I feel that same way about it, because like each of us are different as far as how we come out. Like one of us, like obviously for me, I'm more either outspoken.
Flamboyant.
Yeah, that's the word. I'm always like, I'm here. I'm like, my presence gonna be known and everything. But I feel like that for as far as growing up wise, some of that kind of like dwindled. As far as,
I think you tried to dumb yourself down because my foundation was so bland, and that's why I always tell you, just be who you're going to be and not who I am. That's who I am. That's not who you are. I was that way because I had to be that way because of the choices that I made growing up. I chose to have kids. You didn't choose to have kids. None of my kids had kids the age that I had kids, because that wasn't, you ain't see me pregnant every other year. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just like when y'all realize about pregnancy, y'all were all here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, stuff like that. But yeah, I think you changed yourself because you're expecting me to be like most parents and expect you to be like me, and I don't expect you to be like. I expect you to be whoever you came into this world to be. Does that make sense?
It makes more sense, because like you don't want us to change ourselves, but you not want us to be taken advantage of, or be ourselves, but don't be easily manipulated or anything like that. For us, someone can take advantage of us, or our I'll say self-esteem, as far as our self-esteem will go low because we be too much open with how we are. Or it make any sense?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Don't put our heart on the line. Pretty much, like, you know how I'm so much like loving, like
it's not that I don't want you to do that. I just want you to not have high expectations of other individuals,
right?
Because of the way that you had life presented to you. Don't go into the world thinking that everyone is going to be that way. And I think you found that out when you work around other people. Yeah. It's like, oh, y'all different. Like, where y'all, who raised you?
Yeah. With that, I did, because like I'm now knowing that other people's, there's not everyone thinks exactly how I would think, or I know there's some other people have different ways of thinking, as far as like, okay, they think rational, or some people just think just do. But as far as how they was raised and stuff, like my way of thinking is different from other people's way of thinking. I'm like, oh, there's a difference in the world. I'm like, I always thought that everyone was the same. Like,
no.
Everyone will like colors or everything. Everyone will like some type of way of shape or form of shapes. But not everyone thinks that way. I'm like, oh, that was like aha. Like, not aha, but like aha.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be a rude awakening for y'all because you were so sheltered with your access to people. Right. And I purposely did that, not to hinder you, but so that you can develop into who you were without their, what do you call it?
Influence?
There you go. You were going to say. That's why you need this mic. They can't hear that.
It was something that you said. Oh, about the shapes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because remember when I was decorating my room for a while, and I was like, I like these shapes. And you was like, no, actually, you like these type of shapes. I'm like, no, I don't. I like this, and I like this, and this, and this. And you was like, okay, go upstairs in your room and go look at your room and tell me what you got there. I was like, so you remember when you was like, I like this and this and this?
I was going.
No, it wasn't you just went in your room. It was a whole week of you going back and forth about it. And I was just like, well, do what you want to do. If it makes you happy, I'm happy for you.
That's code, y'all. That's code talk.
No, during that time, it wasn't code. It was just
no, I know, but for me, it'd be like, get yourself together. Actually hear what she's saying and not go with your own answer. Listen to her.
Right.
No, I put the whole box in.
I sure did. But no, like, that was a great example when you went through the whole, I like this shape, and Mom, you don't know me, and I'm
what
just
shape
like,
was it? Was it Was it square or was it circles?
I think it was circles.
I think it was circles, but everything like now in my room, all you can see is just
straight lines. And I'm just like, you don't like. Where are you getting this from?
I think because I was going with like on Pinterest, they always have the circles.
The Scandinavian. Yeah. I was like, okay, girl, have fun. I'm not spending my money on it. That's all I know. But I was like, I'll support you in your delusion.
Which that is a great factor of having me as a parent.
What?
The support.
Oh. Yeah, that does mean a lot. I think for me, supporting you guys is kind of like me getting the support that I never had, which I think, like how you were saying, how does it affect? I think things only affect you if you allow for it to affect you. I think if you make the choice early on that, yeah, that's not going to be me.
Right.
I think if you make the choice early on that this is not my end all be all, you've already overcome the obstacle of a generational curse. So you decide early on, like, yeah, I'm not finna do that, and that puts a blocker on you accepting the standards that are being set forth for you. But I know with my kids, I was gonna try to deviate a lot of things from y'all from happening, so you didn't have to make that choice. It was already made for you. Now that's something that I did that you guys may not do. You may allow your kids to kind of go through things to, you know what I'm saying, so that they learn. But I chose that I didn't want my kids to have to go through things in order to learn. And I got a lot of flack for it from other people. It's like, people have to go through things to learn, and it's just like, I want to see their kids struggle. Like, yeah, that's true, you will learn something, but I don't want to see you struggle to learn it.
Yeah.
Struggle in a different kind of way. Struggle trying to get your college degree or business up and running, but don't struggle because you're emotionally lacking.
That's true, because when I was at the time working at my other job, that they had the same problem as far as having a parent support or having them like say like let them struggle. They like, I would just, if they would have an ounce of help me out, like I wouldn't be in this mess. I'm like, I can still understand where they're coming from, and like,
did you?
I'm like, I can see somewhat, because at that time, like, my mom supported me, even though I'm working here. She's like, you didn't have a choice to go, but I still like, at least for what I was saying.
They didn't have no support from their family.
Yeah, because they like, even if an ounce of support, if they like ask for like, if they just like.
Shady's back.
Hello, friend.
Just to let you know, guys, the audio is off. I just had to, my other phone died. It was storage got full, so I have to go to my next one. So, yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so what was some of my friends? So what they was doing, struggling, their parents wasn't helping them?
Why are you laughing?
Because that should be funny, because it's like, how trash are you as a parent to bring somebody into this world, be like, all right, now go on, be on your own, fuck you.
I think
what?
it's not. I don't think
Is
they
you
be,
fucking dumb?
I
don't think they be a parent. I think they still be
friends. Like, they treat their
kind of
kids
like how
friends.
you be. How you was like, you don't want to be like more so parent to us. You want to be like kind of like friend in a way.
No.
But they just take that into.
I don't want to be your friend. No, because seriously, I be thinking about that and I be torn. Because I'm like, I don't want to be your parent, but I also don't want to be your friend. I just want to be that guiding light to get you where you need to go so you can be on your own.
Girl, okay, well.
But that ain't a friend. I don't want to sit there, kick with you, hang with. I like those things. But I think along the way, y'all have, which is
what I'm
weird.
trying to say is they start off, I'm going to be my kid's friend. They always feel like they can have someone to talk to, this, that, third. But they don't be even thinking really that. I think they like, I don't want that kid in the first place. So
no, that's not what they be thinking. I'm gonna tell you, because I swear to you, I've been on both of the stick. How they, and if a parent's here, they can just, when you respond, tell the truth and be transparent. Don't try to sit here and be saying some stupid shit. I eat your ass up in the comments. FYI, make sure you FYI alert. FYI,
yeah.
for your motherfucking information, because I'm gonna eat the ass up. They say something. Because they are liars. They say anything otherwise. The ones that, because this not for all, but the ones that be like, go on about your business, they be trying to get back to life. They be trying to get back to living life for them. Like the girl, her mama just want to be out there how she was, because remember when the girl was dancing, she danced and she was looking at her shake her butt and all this stuff. She was like, she thinks she all that. Now you sizing her up like she another female. You know what I'm saying? And that's because you jealous as you got a kid she don't. So they just be trying to get back to living. Yeah. It's like, I want to do my shit too. I didn't do that because I do my thing.
Yeah, you did wild even with us. Well, not like that, or, but you lived as far as.
I did what I wanted. Anything that I wanted to do, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't say, well, I got kids. And it's like, all right, well, if I want to go take a trip to the beach, I'm going to take kids with me. And if y'all was like, well, I don't want to go on the beach, I want to sit in the Airbnb, y'all just stayed in the Airbnb and I went and did what I wanted to do.
I think they start putting restrictions when I say like, okay, now you have to be responsible and stuff like that. They're like, okay, I can't have fun no more. But if you think about it this way, like if you can have fun with them, or if you even say like how we are growing now, that if they choose to stay, like if they don't want to go, they can stay home or stay in the house while the others can go. Because if the ones that do go,
see, I don't think they be, but you're still thinking from your stance. You got to remember, a lot of these kids that are not at home, they're leaving home at like between 15 to 18. So when the other ones are coming up, they still got little kids. So imagine if, let's say, Kayvon left at 18. How old was Bob? 9. And how old were you? 11. You see? So I was just gonna keep kicking myself. So instead of me keep kicking myself, I'm like, you might as well stay home. And when I go run to the store or I go take a trip, at least you home with your siblings. And the trade-off of that was he didn't start working until he was 21.
yeah.
It's just like people don't have a give and take. All people want to do is constantly take.
Right.
And constantly wanting to be the receiver in the situation and never the giver makes you feel like, well, everyone's just taking from you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So now all you see is I keep raising these kids and I can't live my life. I was able to live my life a lot earlier because I had adult children at home. You see what I'm saying? Because I was like, all right, so I'm what he said, he didn't want to go somewhere, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna move to Texas. And you can keep the house. Everybody was like, what? Okay, well, you don't want to go
And
nowhere.
she
I'm
was
finna
100% serious.
I'm gonna move to North Carolina. Y'all can stay here. I'm good. I just lived my life. I just took what I had and I made it work. And people don't take what they have and make it work. They try to eliminate everything that they think is a problem. I just see everything as being,
They look at it glass half full instead of half empty instead of half full.
Yeah. And I look at it half full instead of half empty.
Because I was wondering, like, just that, like the house play fact I raise children, but I was thinking, like, do you think versus that they don't know how to?
Who is they?
Parents, or just
Know
in
how
general,
to what?
know how to separate the two, or like how you think.
I think they know how to when they choose. I don't think it's a thing of not knowing. I just think people are so much followers to everyone does what they see everyone else do. That's why it's called a generational curse, because for generations, everyone's been doing it the same way. But I just looked at, for me, instead of me looking at stuff from my situation of where I was financially, I always looked at how others who had finances and were wealthy and well off, how they moved. And I always saw them with their kids in a mansion where they had wings, and this person would grow up on this wing, that person grew up on this wing, and then when they got older, they just moved their family in. So I was like, why I can't do the same thing? It's like, why tell my kids to move out and go get an apartment, and now we're just repeating the cycle where you're gonna pay somebody else, stay home, figure yourself out. Because I knew with the way that I raised y'all mentally, y'all were not prepared for this world. And when y'all stepped out, it was like, ooh, oh, y'all living out here raw. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that y'all have had a silver spoon in your mouth. I mean, to others,
It shows like that, but
yeah, but y'all went through y'all ups and downs in life with me.
yeah.
So I ain't trying to say I'm the best parent in the world, but I just work with what I had. Because, like, I even think back to my mom. Yes, my mom was a single mom. No, I wasn't a single mom y'all entire life. I didn't become a single mom until y'all started becoming adults. But the truth of the matter, I still was a single mom, even though. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, yes, my dynamics was somewhat different than hers, but the results were still the same had I made the same choices. Because, like how he was trying to say, oh, well, when they turn 18, they need to move out. And I'm like, wait, pause. When they turn 18, why they got to move out? Like, where they going to go? What skills do they have other than working at a fast food joint? Like, that's crazy to tell them to move out at that age. He was like, well, they need to move out or go to college. And I was like, well, what college do you? No, dead ass.
No, I know.
Because I've always made more than him and I didn't go to college. So what college did so great for you that it's going to do to them? It's like I didn't start getting into my good money until I hit my about 25. And look at him now. Yeah. He's about that age, and now he's starting to get into that better money bracket.
No, I understand because
Money bracket, income bracket.
she was like, "Are you gonna go to college?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Well, why not?" I'm like, "I don't." Well, give me a reason why I should. She was like, "You can get a degree." Like, well, how many people do you know use it? She's like, "Well, I'm just saying." I'm like, "Okay, so what are you going for?" And she was like, basically, so she wants, you know that what you wanted to do with criminals and stuff like that.
Criminology.
Yeah, it was kind of along those lines, but not really something else. But like forensic sciences and stuff like that, somewhere along those.
That's a great career to go on. You're in now in that career. She's gonna get paid, but she's gonna get the same amount coming out of college. She's gonna get paid the same amount that she would get paid if she was a correction officer. That's crazy.
Because with another friend,
Finish that story. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, that was basically it.
That's crazy.
She was like, she's gonna do that. And I was like, well, that's for you. I say you go for it. But I don't see the point of going to college. I don't, you're like how you said, you go there, you're gonna make the same amount if you do this, or you're probably gonna end up in the same place, or you can end up better, or if you do this way, you can end better this way, like YouTube or TikTok or something like that. You can end up better, or I mean, if you do what you're saying, you could still end up better. But I mean, when you come out, like you said, you're still gonna be in the same space essentially. And she was just like, I mean, that's fair. And then she dropped the conversation. But before that, like a year or two ago, I had a conversation.
That's just crazy
with Steven, and he was basically like, he was like, I'm not going to college. My mom wants me to go to college, but I'm not going to college. I'm gonna do this, and this. And if that don't work out, then I'm gonna do this and this. And if that don't work out, well then I'm gonna do that.
And you have so many other outlets other than where you can start and hit the ground running versus waiting, and then they're delayed with their start to being an adult. Because when they get out, most people that get out and get their career and actually go into the field, now number one, you owe all this money, and they charging you that money immediately. They don't give you a break on that money. It's like, boom, you got to start paying them, right? So you come out on, before you get a car, before you get a house, before you get anything, before you get clothes, apartment, anything, you already owing somebody something, right? Versus going out there, yeah, you're going to go and have to pay the same bills that this person that went to school had to pay, but guess what? You don't have no debt. That was just my thing. I'm like, I ain't going, how much I gonna pay?
No, I know. That's
and what is it?
Look
Look at this. I could go buy a car. You crazy.
That's basically what he's playing. He was like, you're gonna pay more in like say let's do you, yeah, you're gonna pay way more in that,
and then you be starving.
he said the same thing. He was like, have y'all seen my stomach? I'm not gonna be starving. I'm not gonna be out here doing stupid things just because I want to have like a title or something like that. And he was just basically like,
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, because I was like, wow, it's your year to graduate. And I'm like, in all the years, I've never used my high school diploma.
Yeah, no, we were just.
That's crazy to me. I'm like, I've never used it. I've never actually had to present until I was applying for college. And then when they got it, it was just like, okay. I'm like, really? Just okay? No good grades, this and that, high honor roll, nothing. Just okay.
Once you finish, okay, we got it. I think when people always ask like, oh, are you gonna go to college or stuff like that? I'm like, no. I'm like, I already knew at a young age about college and stuff. Like, okay, so this is Disney related, but I used to watch a lot of shows, but also ask you about the information too. About like, okay, learn about this, about, I guess that's when at the time I was wanting to see what's growing up was like. But I knew about college, you want to have to pay fees, tuition. Like, I knew about the money aspect. I usually always, I guess that's probably why I always like money. But I always knew about the money aspect of, oh, how much is this going to cost, Like, I knew if you go to college, I always get it for experience, or go for experience. But as far as like, if you want to get into your career, you might as well just jumpstart going into it. I mean, you can get the degrees and stuff online and stuff like that. But
well, I mean, you can always, like for instance, with her friend in criminology, if she would have just went into being a correctional officer, they'll actually pay her tuition to go to the next phase of her career. All she had to do was stay with them for 5 years. And if she would have stayed with them for 5 years, she would have actually been making way more money, because CJ in 5 years he was making like $100,000 a year. You see what I'm saying? So if she would have just went that route, stayed her 5 years, she'd have been making $100,000, because honestly in criminology they only start out at like 42,000. So you go to school to start out at 42,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, and most of that ain't even really yours. Gotta pay them.
And she would be paying way more because she better not have no kid. So she ain't even got a kid to claim income tax, nothing. So that money she would have been making like 32,000 and taxes and all that stuff.
It's huge. Look at how much I pay. Yeah. When I seen that, I was like, oh, that's not right. They need to be giving
Excuse
you
me.
money.
Officer.
Something's missing from this equation.
It's not something. It's a lot. It's a lot. Girl, I get hit too hard. I be like, what? That's why I told you. I'm like, these kids can't go out and live on their own. This is crazy. You better stay home and do your homework. That's crazy. All I think is fucking insane. I'm dead ass. Like, how the fuck kids gonna live off that shit? I be looking all the time. I be like, oh my god, they honestly cannot live off. That's why most of them be having roommates, like 6, 7 roommates. And now your roommate done the kid roommate done them, and you like, oh, I should have just kept my baby at home. I be like, you're not gonna have me on TV talking about son. I'm so upset. Girl, I would flash out. They be like, where their mama went? Where's Shelly? Is Shelly gonna get that? Nah, I chose the harder route, but it made life easier long term because this is not an easy thing to kind of ease into. It has gotten better, but we've hit quite a few rough patches along the way.
Rock bottom.
Nah, we haven't hit rock bottom. Y'all make it so that we don't hit rock bottom, which makes it a lot more bearable because y'all not disrespectful to me. I don't even think y'all ever raise y'all voice at me. And I'll be like, well, I mean, other than the little one, that nigga got to go when he 18.
He do.
He be cussing me out and everything.
Now we do get a little bit sass. That's guaranteed, dude.
I expected for y'all to curse me out because I ain't no easy.
No, we don't cuss you out, but we definitely do be sad.
Yeah.
Y'all cuss me out in y'all head.
Yeah, for sure.
And I cuss y'all out.
Yes.
Out loud.
Y'all motherfuckers be getting on my goddamn nerves.
Yo, those keys, I still be thinking about that when you was like, hey, Aisha, you was standing right there when I
What?
I was so mad till it became her fault. I said, I don't know how, but it is.
And I was just like, not you trying to make this my fault when you even got no reason. That's why you walking downstairs this fast. And when you got to the bottom step, that's when you started laughing. I was like, so you know it's true.
Girl, I was so angry. I can't stand y'all motherfuckers always getting on my damn nerves. Just do what you're supposed to do.
And you know the funny part is, right before you started blaming me, you kept looking at me, and I was like, she's gonna blame me. Watch.
Yeah,
3,
I just
2,
couldn't find something.
1. And Aisha, you was standing right there when I had it. Oh my god.
Nah, I wish more parents would honestly keep their kids at home because when I be seeing these kids coming up missing,
That makes more sense. Cause like, especially when they start telling the story, they went out, or the one, for instance, that was going to apply for a job. She was in college, but her mom was taking her to it.
mm-hmm.
She like, good thing I had taught my daughter to listen to her intuition, because she went out to go apply for a job, but she like something's sketchy
I know
about
what you're
the
talking about.
interviews.
And she like, yeah, something's not right. I went into the office. They didn't come. The guy was there, but he was like sketchy. He went in the back and then didn't come for a while. She's like, you know what? I'm not coming back. Matter of fact, Mom, can you take me home? This interview is sketchy. And she told her everything about it. She's like, girl. And later on, they found out that someone was, the next person that came in for the interview was kidnapped. And it's like,
I thought you were gonna say the one where go ahead.
that was it. Because she found out that next day that they was kidnapped. And it's like, dang, good thing you taught me to listen to my intuition, because I would have been just like that. I'm happy I did too, because I feel off too about taking you to the interview. I'm just gonna take you though.
Girl, on my ass, I'm gonna wake up next day to my son. Yeah, you know
We
that
going
interview. We're fine.
Yeah, like that with the dentist. But yeah, no.
And I keep trying to get y'all to go to the dentist, and they keep saying,
Yeah, you literally just asked me, and I was like, I don't want nobody in my mouth.
Me either.
for real.
I'll buy that
I let these
toothpaste.
hoes rot.
I'll buy that toothpaste. That's fix it.
I almost bought it the other night. You think we should just get it?
I think so. I found it.
Wait, that
cheaper
one?
on
The Marvin?
Amazon.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Is it silver?
It has white and gray.
Yeah, silver.
No. God damn, y'all don't know y'all colors? This nigga talking about white.
I didn't even say white. It says silver.
It says
You said black.
No,
Somebody
I
said
didn't.
black.
How did it become?
Either
it's
way,
again my fault.
Now one of the
The
colors
keys?
is it.
The keys?
It's pink and blue.
Wait,
Which one are you
talking
talking
about? That one that
I'm talking about the
rainbow
Marvin.
one?
It
The one
starts
that
with
actors-
M.
The one that the actors be using. That one's white.
Wait, hold on.
I thought you didn't say white.
I didn't say white.
I said white.
I
You
said
black.
silver. No, I
You
did.
said black earlier.
I didn't
Yes,
say,
you did.
I didn't
did.
even say any other color
Replay
than
that
silver.
clip.
Girl, for real.
For real.
We got
Yeah,
you on
roll back, 'cause
4K.
all I said was silver. All I said was silver.
Yeah.
You,
How much you gonna give me?
I ain't giving you
Go
nothing.
buy me snow crab.
oh, not you gonna buy her
No.
snow crab.
Yep.
Buy me a baconator from Wendy's.
She been dying for
You
this
don't
bacon
need
egg.
that. That's pork. We don't eat pork. Y'all need to stop getting pizza because that's pork.
We.
Do y'all hear me?
Not you swatting me like a fly.
Oh, mosquitoes biting me. This damn video down. Yeah.
It should be
All right, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for if you guys want more of this content of the podcast for next season, stay tuned. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. And we'll see you guys next video. We're out.
Please don't. Come on, you're the first
Let
one to
me
ever
hit
wear
you
them. No.